There's some breaking news out of New York City. Maybe you've seen the ghastly video of a neighbor in an apartment building who executed a father and his stepson over a dispute regarding noise. It was all captured on closed-circuit surveillance video. It's awful. I don't want to play it. If you're watching on Salem News Channel, maybe we can send the video out if you like that, or appreciate that kind of gore. It's awful. I mean, this guy came with a gun, ready to confront this family. There had apparently been a history of arguing between these two tenants of the apartment building. I think it was in Brooklyn. And the family comes out to confront the guy. He's wearing a jacket. He's dressed all in black. And the closed-circuit surveillance cameras are just crystal clear. One thing about this closed-circuit TVs now, I mean, the video quality is as good as anything you see on a TV network. I mean, you can get these Ring cameras and everything, and they're a real good deterrent, I think, for criminals because they work well. I've got a whole set of them at a property that I own, and you can see everything, and it records automatically. If there's movement, you can set all kinds of settings. Anyway, they had a closed circuit camera in the hallway of this apartment building. This guy's waiting, he's pacing, they're arguing. The dad comes out, and he's very threatening. He's apparently a bodybuilder. The father was this big, hulking, muscular, tall guy. And he storms out with a pair of scissors in his hand. And they're arguing about the noise. And according to news reports, you know what the noise was? The family that the other guy was objecting to, they lived above this guy, and they didn't have carpeting on the floor. So whenever they walked, they were walking on wood floors, and it made a lot of noise, and it just aggravated the guy down below. So the guy down below shows up. He's in the hallway. He's got a jacket on. They're arguing. The family's arguing. The big, bodybuilder is towering over the guy with a pair of scissors. Well, the shorter guy that came up to complain, he pulls out a gun, a handgun. The father immediately retreats. Doesn't matter. This guy starts blasting away. He shoots the dad multiple times. It's all caught on camera. The stepson, tries to get away. He executes the stepson, pumps him full of bullets, and then he goes over to the dad, who's trying to get up. He's fallen by the door, and puts a couple more bullets in his head for good measure. I mean, it was a stone-cold execution. And there was a big debate on social media about whether or not it was self-defense or not. Well, of course it wasn't self-defense. He executed them. He's arguing with them about noise in an apartment. Now a family is shattered. And the breaking news, the reason I'm telling you this whole story is there is some news. They got the guy. Police shot him at a traffic stop moments ago in Brooklyn. The 47-year-old suspect, Jason Pass, was in a car when police got a hit on his license plate. They performed a traffic stop, at which point the situation took a violent turn. He charged at the cops with a knife. They shot him. He's been rushed to an area hospital in critical condition. So everybody's lives are, and there's a moral to the story here. And the reason I think it's important to talk about it is more and more people are arming themselves. It's inevitable. Look at the world around us. Listen, I'm starting up the process again here in Florida. Years ago, I got a concealed carry permit course that I took in South Carolina. But, it's been years. I was living in New York City. You sure aren't supposed to have a gun in New York. And now that I'm a Florida resident, I'm going to be armed. And I'm going to take a course, and I'm going to be prepared for whatever might come my way. But if you're going to be a gun owner, you got to be responsible. That doesn't mean it's you should be in a shootout at the OK Corral. That doesn't mean you should sit around and execute a father and his son because you're arguing about noise in the apartment building. And if you execute somebody, you're going to go to jail forever, as you should, I hope. I don't know. But that's the concern, and I'm not oblivious to the fears that people who don't like guns and don't approve of the Second Amendment always have. They figure as people get armed and more people start carrying, there'll be more incidents like this. And you know what I have to say to that? It's an awful thing to have to admit, but it's true. There will be irresponsible, negligent morons who are going to misuse their firearm. And, you know, that unfortunately is part of the price we pay for a polite armed society. There are going to be people who abuse it. This guy clearly abused it. This guy needs to be, if he survives the police shooting, should spend the rest of his life in jail. It was a cold-blooded killing. And he slaughtered 2 people over a stupid dispute. But again, ultimately, that's not going to prevent people, I don't think. Maybe it will. Maybe you'll think twice about arming yourself. More and more Americans are purchasing firearms. More and more people are realizing if you don't protect yourself, no one will. More and more people are coming to the realization that they need to protect themselves. So make sure you're protected. Make sure you're armed if you so choose. And if you choose not to be armed, I don't mean to be a jerk here, but good luck. If you choose not to protect yourself, you're pretty much on your own. And with witnessing what we're witnessing in the country and all the evil we are seeing, how is it a leap to say, after what they've been doing to the Jews, that us Christians are next? And I would argue we already are. We're already on the chopping block. Already they're mocking the new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, because he's apparently very religious. And Lord knows, nothing infuriates the left more than a religious Christian. And they hate Mike. They're going after Mike Johnson, the new speaker. Oh, he's going to cause the Republicans to lose the House. Everybody's going to turn against Republicans now because they have a Bible-believing Christian as the Speaker of the House. I mean, that's absolutely what they're saying right now. So the same hatred that we're seeing exhibited towards Jews is going to be directed toward Christians. A lot of text messages coming in, including this one from Philly. Situations like the one you just described in Brooklyn make me want to be armed even more. It's not a deterrent at all. I mean, watching people, I told you the story of that punk in Houston who was going up from behind people and slugging them as hard as he could. It makes me want to be armed more. And I'm not alone. I guarantee you more and more Americans are saying, time for me to be protected. Welcome aboard. It's the 1st of November. We're in the Relief Factor studios. I hope you jump aboard and join us. The PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition phone number is 800-655-MIKE. We have an open line for you. Are you considering getting armed when you look at the world around you? Has the Hamas terrorist attack against the Jews and all the anti-Semitism we're seeing in America caused you to consider becoming armed and making sure you're carrying a weapon, making sure you have a firearm or more firearms in your home? Or do you think that's a mistake? Do you think it'll turn into a bloodbath unnecessarily?